So the ceasefire between Israel and Iran appears to be holding after U.S. President Donald Trump lashed out at both countries, insisting that the ceasefire was not being put into effect. For more, we're joined by Professor Hassan Geon, visiting professor at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. Professor Geon, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So Trump says the ceasefire between Israel and Iran continues to be in effect and that he expects this to last forever. Will the ceasefire hold?
This ceasefire between Israel and Iran remains technically in effect, but it's kind of a precarious. And until now, we cannot be sure that we can think that of it as a pause rather than a durable peace agreement. Trump's assertion that it will last forever reflect actually political optimism, not strategic reality. Historically, such truth in the Middle East, like in 2006 Israel-Hezbollah cessation or post-2019 Iran-backed militia truce in Iraq, have proven temporary rather than permanent when underlying issues remained unresolved. From a realist perspective, the absence of structural security guarantees and persistence of mutual threat perception, this ceasefire is vulnerable to to collapse at any provocations.
I see. So we'll have to see if the deal will be sustainable. So what did Israel and Iran gain from the war?
It's a very good question. Israel gained militarily, of course, and symbolically by damaging Iran's nuclear infrastructure, including centrifuge arrays in Natanz and Fordo. It delayed Iran's nuclear progress and reasserted deterrence. These actions reflect Israel's long-standing what we call Begin doctrine, a preventive strategy to eliminate a perceived existential threat, previously also seen in Iraq in 1981 and Syria in 2007. Iran, on the other hand, reinforced its strategic narrative of resistance. Despite heavy losses, Iran showcased its ability to retaliate directly and also via proxies. The alliance with Iran's strategic depth doctrine, which compensates for conventional inferiority by leveraging asymmetric tools to protect itself. Both states reinforced their identities, Israel as a regional enforcers of the red lines and Iran as a resilient revolutionary power.
I see. And will Iran never be able to rebuild a nuclear program, as Trump claims, now that the United States has bombed its nuclear facilities? And was the country actually very close to building a nuclear warhead, nuclear weapon, like Trump said?
Despite U.S. Airstrikes claims that Iran's nuclear program has been eliminated, this is an overstatement. According to the U.S. military intelligence, the report that the airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities set its program back only a few months. Also, historical precedents show us that external attacks tend to delay but not permanently dismantle nuclear ambitions, especially when political will remain. Iran reportedly several months away from nuclear breakout, not days, as Netanyahu said sometimes. The International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed Iran had enriched uranium at 60% purity. This is a short technical leap from weapons grade. However, nuclear latency does not equal weaponization. Also, I would argue that Iran pursued a hedging strategy, maintaining the option without actually crossing the threshold, both as leverage and deterrence. Trump's statement served as a political theater than grounded strategic assessment.
I see. And will Iran return to the negotiating table with the United States for nuclear talks? What cards do you think does Iran have left to play?
We are waiting for that to happen, but I think Iran is unlikely to return to direct talks with the U.S. in the near terms. But indirect diplomacy, especially via mediators, European mediators, is already underway. Iran's leverage lies in two domains, material and symbolic. Materially, it retains technical knowledge, centrifuge capacity, and enriched uranium stockpile they have. Symbolically, it maintains influence over key proxies like Hezbollah and Houthis, allowing it to shape regional dynamics. Iran, we have to know that the Iran domestic political structure also constrains its foreign policy. Negotiation is likely, but only on Tehran's terms, primarily lifting sanctions and regime security.
See, and before I let you go, how might the conflict between Israel and Iran affect the broader Middle East, including the ongoing war in Gaza?
Yeah, actually, this conflict is destabilizing variable in the already fragile regional equation. It diverts attention from Gaza crisis, complicates ceasefire efforts with Hamas, and may also embolden non-state actors in the area who interpret Iranian resilience as a green light. In the past, we saw similar dynamics during the 1982 Lebanon War and the 1991 Gulf War, when regional wars either empowered proxy actors or forced strategic recalibration of the actors involved. For the Iran-Israel conflict, this is not isolated from the rest of the region. It's interwoven with the strategic calculations of regional actors like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Gulf states. Furthermore, control over maritime checkpoints like the Strait of Hormuz remains a very critical checkpoint, bargaining chip for Iran. This could have a global implication on the energy securities and echoing a past oil crisis. This geopolitical confrontation spills into global market. We hope that this doesn't happen.
Right, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. All right, Professor Khan, thank you so much for your insight today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.